Hi everyone, my name is Annika. I'm a university student at the University of New England, Australia, studying psychology. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to use behaviour modification strategies to overcome your phobia of spiders, also known as arachnophobia. So if you're ready to take the first step in your journey of conquering this fear, join me as we explore the power of graded exposure therapy. If you are one of the millions of people struggling from a phobia of spiders, know that you are not alone, as 1 in 7 Australians experience a phobia within their lifetime, with spiders being the second most prevalent. As I'm sure you know, arachnophobia plays a large role in your everyday life. This fear may become so overwhelming that it causes physical symptoms and prevents you from doing activities that you would enjoy. You may choose not to go on the bushwalk with your friends, as you know you could run into a spider there. Or you may choose not to go to the zoo with your family, as you know there are exhibits there as well. You may choose not to watch the documentary your friends were all talking about and you know you would enjoy because you know it talks about spiders or contains scenes with them in it. Additionally, you may spend hundreds of dollars on spider repellents and you may live in fear of encountering a spider within your home. We want to change this. These avoidant behaviours may assist you in the short term, but unfortunately they're not always guaranteed to work. Additionally, the constant reliance on mechanisms that avoid the anxiety of encountering a spider instead prolong and increase the feelings of fear you may have. The good news is, you don't have to live with this fear. Although not many people may know this, there are numerous strategies we can put in place to help overcome phobias, and arachnophobia is no different. It is important to understand that although your brain needs to recognize spiders as danger, it is important in ensuring your safety. The level of fear that you experience with a phobia is detrimental to your mental well-being. The reduction of this fear will still allow you to protect yourself from harm. So, how can we fix this? This is where ideas of behaviour modification strategies come into consideration. Exposure therapy is a highly effective treatment which involves the systematic and controlled exposure to an object of fear, which in this case is spiders. By facing your fear in manageable portions, you can retrain your brain to minimise the level of threat perceived when encountering a spider. Although the idea of an exposure to an object of fear may seem extremely uncomfortable at first, know that you do not have to be alone in this process. Friends and family can help provide emotional and moral support during this process, and if needed, a licensed therapist may assist you through the exposure process and provide additional counselling support. So, let's get into it. The first step in your journey to overcoming your spider phobia is to create awareness of why your phobia exists. To do this, you should try to understand what about spiders scares you and what behaviours this fear elicits. This allows you to understand what avoidance behaviours you want to remove and what goals you want to set for your situation. A clear and specific goal about what you want to do provides an objective for you to base your gradual exposure on. Once this has been accomplished, the second step is to create an exposure hierarchy. This hierarchy should rank spider-related situations from the least to the most anxiety-provoking and should relate to situations you would like to overcome. Although the idea of these situations may be frightening to you, it is important to remember you are completely in control and will not immediately encounter a fearful situation. Selected situations can be ranked on levels using a subjective level of distress scale, also known as SUDS, where items are ranked from 0 to 100, where 0 produces no anxiety and 100 produces the most anxiety you can imagine. As a rule of thumb, there should be at least 10 items on this scale, but more items are able to be used if needed. Additionally, there should be no more than a gap of 10 SUDS between each scenario. An example of a low-rated scenario may include looking at a picture of a spider or holding a toy. An example of a high-rated situation may include staying in a room with a spider or touching a harmless one. Make sure all items are relevant to your goals. The third step on your journey is to begin progression through the hierarchy. A key part of the exposure process is that it is graded, and therefore should be completed from the lowest ranked item to the highest. It is important to remain at the level you are on with repeated exposure if needed, until you feel your anxiety has dropped and you are ready to progress onto the next level. You may feel fearful and stressed during these situations, but know that you do not have to be alone in this process, and the anxiety will go away through consistency and dedication. This process may be repeated as often as needed until you can complete the final stage and achieve your goals. Successful completion of the graded exposure process can be demonstrated through a decrease in SUDS level for each activity on your hierarchy. If at any stage you feel like you need to revert to an earlier stage in the hierarchy before moving on, this is perfectly acceptable, and is crucial to make sure you look after your well-being and do not force yourself to do something you are not ready to do. So, in summary, you can use exposure therapy to overcome your fear of spiders through adherence to the following steps. Step 1. Set specific and relevant achievable goals that you wish to overcome. Step 2. Create an exposure hierarchy that relates to your goals and can be achieved through graded exposure. Step 3. Perform each of these exposure activities until your anxiety decreases. And Step 4. Repeat these actions as often as needed until you achieve your goals. I hope that helps. Thank you so much.